Good morning, everybody, and that's of course you're watching this video in the evening, and that is good evening, and you are watching Time Travel TV, and today we're going to be talking about the California Gold Rush, which I absolutely love. It's one of the few times in American history when the Wild West was truly wild. Oh, yeah! So, where do we start? Well, picture, if you will, is California in the 1848. Very few people live in California in 1848, but one person does. Or more than one person does. Loads of people do, but one particular person called James W. Marshall, who's doing some work on a mill called Sutter's Mill. And he's banging in some nails, and he's sawing, and then he sees in the river a shining metal. So he goes in, he picks it out, and him and Mr. Sudders, who owns the mill, tests the metal. And it's gold! Yeah! Oh, yeah! It's gold! Rich! And they try to keep it a secret. So naturally, everybody found out about it. And by 1849, thousands of people were making their way to California. Now, many people, you had two choices. One, go on the California Trail across country, through the Great Plains, the great continent of America. Or you can go on a ship. Now, back then, the Panama Canal wasn't built because, well, Theodore Roosevelt hadn't even been born back then. I don't think he'd been born anyway. I'm quite sure he hadn't been born. I'm almost certain Theodore Roosevelt hadn't been born. But coincidentally, he was one of the main guys who were back to the building of the Panama Canal. Not personally, he didn't personally build it, but anyway, I'm really off track now. So they had to go round the tip of South America. So, it took a long time, but it was still quicker than going on land. So many people went on land, many people went round that way, and thousands of people got there, and they needed lots of tools. They needed their shovels, they needed their pickaxes, they needed their beans, and they needed their pans for panning. What they'd do, they'd sink the, they'll go to the river, they'd sink their pan into the river, get the soil from the riverbed, pan it, sift, and the gold sinks to the bottom because gold's quite heavy, and then you get your gold. Now, the people who arrived there in 1849 became known as the 49ers, which is where you get the name for the American football team in California, the 49ers. Anyway, what happened was, so many people went there, people decided to make money out of it. Not by mining gold, but by selling this stuff. Pickaxes, shovels, pans, beans. I remember there was a chap called Mr. Levi who sold jeans. I don't know what I don't know what he did after that. I don't think he did very much after that. But anyway, those were the people who ended up making the most money. The people who sold the shovels. This is not a shovel. This is a pickaxe. The people who sold the equipment. Anyway. Within a couple of years, by the end of 1850, basically all the gold had been mined out because so many people went there. Some people got rich mining gold, but very few got rich. Most of them went home with very little. Just a pan, a shovel, and a pickaxe that they can pick up in their local convenience store back home in New York or wherever for only a couple of dollars. Anyway. So on that happy note, I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please subscribe to Time Travel TV. And I shall see you next time when we'll talk about something else historical. Cheerio!